All right, thanks for joining us on Valley News Live. A very impactful storm system taking shape. We've talked about the rain, mainly to the east where temperatures are warm enough for that. A mixed bag over the valley and into South Dakota, and then all snow in the central and western portion of North Dakota. So this is setting up, and as it begins, it helps us see where that chance of the heaviest snow will be. And the fact that we have heavy precipitation with temperatures close to freezing near the surface means we could have some accumulation of ice in some of our counties. The heaviest snow will likely be from central North Dakota up into northwest portions of Minnesota, with rainfall that will be significant as well. See the yellow bands here swirling right next to Hawley, pushing in towards the FM area. That's changing over to snow, and as we take a look off to the west, we have some heavier bands of snow taking place near Lisbon and up towards Castleton, where you see the deep blues and whites. Those heavier bands are starting to establish themselves, and this will be a prolonged system because look at the magnitude of it, the spiraling bullseye right here in the nation's midsection. Winds in Colorado 92 miles per hour just west of the Loveland area. Here is a look at our temperatures now. As you see, warm enough for rain from portions of the valley and points east, cold enough for snow out to the west. So things are starting to take shape. And speaking of winds, we're just now starting to see them intensify across the eastern portion of the Dakotas. We have some gusts approaching 30 miles per hour. They're exceeding 30 miles per hour in Aberdeen. A soupy sky from our Valley Skycam now over the FM area, 32 degrees at Hector. Gusty winds are hitting 26 miles per hour from the north right now. And here is a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. This evening, the rain bands continue to move north, and the snow will actually expand in aerial coverage. Meanwhile, we'll still have that potential between now and the 10 o'clock hour for a narrow band of icing taking place. Notice the wind continues to increase as well. So you should be where you're going to be by 10 o'clock tonight, because after that, travel will become impossible in many areas. As we go through the overnight, the wind arrows turn red. Gusts will be very excessive first thing in the morning, and it snows all night long for hours and hours across much of central and eastern North Dakota, and northwest Minnesota continues to see snow through much of the day tomorrow. But by the midday hour, finally, the snow starts to exit off to the east, but the north winds will be persistent throughout the day as temperatures slip into the 20s, causing any liquid underneath that snow to freeze up. Here's that heavy band of snow. 6 to 12 Grand Forks through the Cheyenne and James River valleys down into south central North Dakota. Isolated 18 inches of wet, heavy snow. 3 to 6 is my thinking for Fargo, because we're starting to see a few flakes now. Look how close we are. Any little shift in this, and we could also be shoveling some very heavy snow. Due to rain, there'll be lower amounts into central Minnesota. Here's where Hutch is thinking the best chance is for some accumulating ice. That will mainly happen between now and the early hours tomorrow. This could cause problem with some power outages, snapping trees as well. And let's take a look at the hour-by-hour factor on winds. After 10 o'clock is when things get ridiculous. Eastern North Dakota gusts over 50, maybe even over 60 miles per hour as we approach morning. Then those heaviest winds cross into the Red River Valley midday. That's when things will be very noisy and travel impossible. And even though you'll have low snow amounts in our far eastern counties, watch where the gusty winds go tomorrow afternoon. With it snowing and blowing, it'll be tough traveling there as well. So a serious blizzard. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Flatline temperatures until tomorrow. Then we start to see them fall off. Winds gust all day. And this is just doggone ridiculous. Let's take a look at your planning forecast. The next 24 to 36 hours will be brutal, but not necessarily brutally cold. A breezy but quieter Friday looks to be in store. Saturday and Sunday look to be much better, with 35 on Sunday for your St. Patrick's Day. Next week, a little moisture and mid-30s.
Looking forward to all those days of quiet weather.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Please keep it here for the latest on the storm.
And make sure you have the forecast at the touch of a finger. Make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.